All right, so the next song we want to talk about is Nothing Compares to You.
Right? Oh, we had a super time doing that.
Hmm.
A3000 came in,
Mm-hmm.
and we got right down to business. We just chatted briefly in the control room
Mm-hmm.
out of this show
Mm.
and put it on.
Mm. And
It's
that's,
certainly 100 and, what is it, an 80-degree turnaround from the original vocal by Sinead O'Connor.
absolutely.
I have a slower interpretation of that.
Really?
That was the way that I was going to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
But Andre wanted to take it up tempo and refresh it. So that's what.
Mm. And then for that also it's very jazzy, which I love. I love that. I mean, I'd like to hear more of that because I think it's really great. I think it shows a part of your artistry that people are not necessarily familiar with unless they're people like me. But I love that track. I thought it was so well done. I really did. And you're right, it's completely turned around from the from her version.
Thank you.
Okay, and now let's talk about, since we're talking about songs that really, that you really you put your own stamp on. That's how it feels to me. Let's talk about next one I want to talk about, which is "You Keep Me Hanging On."
Oh yeah, hold on. But before we get into that, I see that there's a new baby there with the royal couple.
Right.
And Miss Kate is wearing you all out with those ensembles.
Well, she is royal. She is royal. What can we say?
She's styling. She is definitely styling.
Okay. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Well, she can afford to style.
Okay, well, she's got the right body type and all of that.
Definitely.
Beautiful clothes, and that's what she's doing. She's wearing beautiful clothes.
Yeah. All right. So now,
Keep Me Hanging On.
Yeah.
Harvey Mason. Another great young producer. Harvey and I worked together. He worked with Fantasia and myself when we did the duo. And, of course, Harvey brought the tracks in. And the only thing about that was the key was a half step to a step lower than I wanted it to be. And they had done the tracks before they called me and asked me the key.
Okay.
But it still turned out really super.
And you play piano on that?
I did play some piano. I don't know if he used my piano or the other one.
Well, it says it has you on the credits. So
I loved what I did. I don't know if he used it, though.
Now, what did you think of the song? I mean, of course, I know the song. You know the song.
I told Barry Gordy, that is. Barry, you owe me a lot of money today. You have no idea how much money you owe me. I bought all of those records when they were happening in the 60s. Right? The Motown studio was only about a mile from my dad's and our home.
Yeah.
So occasionally I would go over there and just see what they were doing and talk to friends of mine who were on Motown later. Like Martha Reeves and what is her name? Mary Wells.
Yeah, Mary Wells. Yeah.
I were very good friends. And Mickey Stevens, who wrote many of the Motown hits, many of the things, and Holland Dozier and Holland. Their sister Sharon and I were very good friends. So I knew most of the Motown people. We all knew each other. One of my favorite songs was, what is it? This Old Heart of Mine.
This Old Heart of Mine, yeah.
Loved it. Coming up. And some of the things that Diana did. Of course, there was I Heard It Through the Grapevine, Gladys. And I bought all of that stuff.
You actually bought them?
I bought all of those things before. You know, I'm a consumer just like I'm an artist.
Right, right.
And there are certain artists that I like, and of course, like anyone else. You either like them or you don't like them.
All right.
I'm a consumer like anyone else.
So you bought all those 45s.
So I bought most of the Motown records because they were so well written and produced and performed.
And that particular song, does it have any particular, did that particular song mean much to you? You keep me hanging on? I mean, you have any thoughts about the song itself?
It's one of the ones that I liked.
Did you know that there's a version of that you did for Atlantic?
A version of that where?
That you recorded for Atlantic? Did you know that?
Did I do it?
You did it. It wasn't released originally.
Oh, okay. Now that I gotta hear.
It starts out, whoa, 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 woe is me. That's how the song starts. Yeah, but you didn't do it like that. And you were playing the piano on it, and you slowed it down a little bit.
But David, can you get a copy of it for us?
I can send it to you.
Mail it to me.
I can send it. If I send it to you by email, will you be able to open it?
Yes, I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe, I hope.
I can send you an MP3 of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's continue on with the songs. So, Barbra Streisand, People, so I know that you also recorded that during Columbia years.
Yes, I did. What was it? Did I do Funny Girl?
No, you did two.
No,
you did
my
coloring book. Yeah, yeah.
My coloring book.
And People.
Let's see. Well, Barbara and I were at Columbia at the same time, coming up as young budding artists. And this was under, of course, Goddard Lieberson direction, and he was at the helm at that time. Mr. Davis came in sometime later after Mr. Lieberson left and I left. But as young artists, yes, we were there, and Mitch Miller and Leslie Uggams and people like that were on the label. And that was one of the great songs of that time.
Did you ever meet her?
One of the great pop classics.
Great pop classics, yeah. Did you ever meet her or have any run into her?
I just most recently did Marvin Hamlish Memorial. And I heard Streisand about a mile away. Where's Aretha? I want to see Aretha. Where's Aretha? She came backstage and we chatted for about 15 minutes. She took pictures and was very, very gracious.
And that's the first time you met?
Huh?
That was the first time you ever met?
That is the first time that we ever met.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And all the years, do you believe that?
Yeah, and that you were the same label as well?
All of the years.
Wow, wow. Now, obviously you like the song. This is the second time you recorded it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And I love the way it finally came off. It just kind of seemed to be a natural, David. I don't think I took more than 2 takes.
Wow. All right. So now let's talk about Alicia Keys, and Adele rolling the deep.
A very fine writer and producer. Great contemporary ideas. In fact, Alicia, I heard Mr. Davis told me that she suggested the reggae.
Really?
Yeah, which was perfect. It was perfect.
Is that the first reggae feels track you've ever recorded?
Yeah, I think so, yes. Came close to it with Lauryn Hill, but we didn't really, really go there.
Right. And is Alicia somebody you've listened to much since she started recording?
I've heard all of Alicia Keys' things. We're on the same label. We're label mates.
Right. Are there any other songs of hers that you particularly like?
Are
there any other songs of hers that you
I like the New York song that she wrote.
Empire State of Mind, yeah.
New York, I loved by Liza Minnelli, and I liked Alicia's newer version of it. Great great idea to do a New York song.
Okay. And
also liked when she went retro with where's the song? I really, really like that song.
You Don't Know My Name?
Love it.
You Don't Know My Name or Falling?
Hey, from the time I met you.
Yeah, that's cool. You Don't Know My Name.
Makes me smile.
I think.
Baby, baby, baby. What is the hook? If we could get to the hook.
I think it's called You Don't Know My Name.
That's it. You Don't Know My Name. You don't know my name.
I love that song. That's a great song.
I loved it too. It was so old school.
Yeah, it was.
I loved it. I wish she would write another one like that.
Well, you can ask her. She could write one for you.
I wish she would.
Well,
maybe we could record it.
I think it's just a phone call away.
Huh?
I think she's just a phone call away.
Yeah, maybe we could say.
Call her and say, hey. All right, so let's go finally to Rolling in the Deep, which obviously...
Right, loved it. Adele. There again, very, very fine writer, very heavy writer. I love her writings and how she says different things. And for a while, I had to ponder Rolling in the Deep for just a quick minute, okay? And I went, whoa, okay. But listening to her lyrics, I said, oh, you better not cross Adele. I was not having it, right?
Well, she might remind you of you. You're not having it either.
What did you say, David?
I said she might remind you of you because you're not having it either.
No, I'm not having no mess, David.
That's what I mean, see?
Not having no mess.
No mess.
People who bring a lot of mess and who are negative, get away from me.
That's right. Well, that's it. See, you and Adele have something in common.
Huh?
I said you and Adele have something in common.
No, I like people that are straight up and real and positive and going places, very creative people.
Yes. Like me.
Just fabulous people.
Like me.
Like you.
I might as well up myself, right?
Huh?
I might as well big up myself.
Oh, yeah, you are a bon vivant, David.
I love it.
You're a man of the world.
That's
here,
right.
There, everywhere.
Here, there, and everywhere. That's true.
Of the travel, you like to be where it is.
Whatever is going on.
Oh.
Yep, that's true. That's very true. So let me ask you a few more questions just to complete our interview. So how was working? I mean, I know you've worked with Kenny Babyface before. How was working with him on this project?
Kind of like it always is. Kenny, highly professional, legendary writer, producer, and he's always very accommodating. He pays a lot of attention to detail. Detail.
Yes.
Superb at detail. Well, it's production.
Yes.
And we just always have a cool time. We laugh and chat in the control room between takes. And that's pretty much it. I very much enjoy recording with him.
And this was your first time working with Andre 3000. And how was he to work with?
I found him to be very, very intelligent. Very intelligent. Had a brief conversation, but you could very quickly assess the level of his intelligence. And a very sincere kind of person.
And when you... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I gave him one long stem rose. And he put it on his guitar case, which was laying on the floor. He put the rose on the guitar case. And he photographed it, I thought that was fabulous.
Wow.
What a fabulous thing to do, and what a way to remember that moment.
And when you first heard the tracks that he had done, how did you feel? Were you happy with the tracks?
At first, I wasn't sure about it because I had become so used to singing it slow. the more I thought about it, I said, hey, this could really be hot here.
Mm.
So let's just go with the flow here.
Mm. Mm.
Going back to my days of jazz,
Mm.
when I came into the business and working down the Village in New York for months at a time, at the Village Vanguard, at the Village Gate, artists like Horace Silver, and Mitchell, Freddie Hubbard, Charlie Mingus, and people like that, John Coltrane. Those are the people that I was working with coming into the business.
Sure. So jazz has always been a part of your life.
Yes, it has.
Mm.
I worked the first Playboy clubs, and what else? Did some showcases at the Village Vanguard for people from Columbia Records.
Wow. I wish I'd been there. Oh, well.
There was great moments coming up. Great moments.
Now, how did you feel when this whole album was finished? When you finally, you and Mr. Davis said, okay, that's it? We're done?
Thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled and very, very happy with the work that I had put in and the time that I had put in. I would like to have had even more time, but I was still very, very happy with everything.
Okay. And how was working with him again? I mean, this is the first time.
I was going between my concerts and the studio. So it was more than just a notion. In between times, I was in the studio.
Right.
Then rest a few days, and I was back in concert.
Wow. Wow. I know.
I'm going to have to wind it up, Dave.
Okay. So I got one more question, and we're done.
Okay.
How was working with Clive again on this project?
Oh, there's nothing like it. Clive and I are very, very compatible, highly compatible. He has the savoir-faire in terms of the business aspects, and I'd like to feel I have the savoir-faire in the studio. It's a perfect match.
All right, so is this the beginning of many more such projects?
I hope so. I hope so. The thing about that, though, David, is there are times Clive is very, very genuine as a, and I highly appreciate that and respect that. You know, he's not just another chieftain who's sitting there for sale.
Right.
He really cares about the person and the artist.
Yes. All right. And how have you felt about the reaction that the album has received so far, the Rolling in the Deep?
I am just bowled over.
Really?
Over.
Really?
And I can't believe I've hit the charts for the 100th time with a single. And it is very, 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 very exciting.
Wow. That's a lot of berries.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's the way it feels.
That's really how it feels, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, have you started doing any of the songs in concert yet?
Huh?
Have you started doing any of the songs in concert yet, like Rolling in the Deep?
I'm doing Rolling in the Deep, starting down in Florida. I have a private engagement there and concert on Miami Beach. So
okay.
Doing that then.
Brilliant. All right. Well, listen, I know we could talk for hours, because you and I, when we start talking, we could talk for hours, but we're not going to.
No, but I'm just so glad we connected.
I am, too.
Okay.
All right, Aretha. Well, listen, it's brilliant talking to you. I have to tell you, I love the project. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's brilliant. I just love it. So, really, congratulations. And I'm sure it's headed for the Grammys.
Thank you, David.
My
regards to Harriet.
I will.
Let's see. Where was it? I stayed at the, oh, my God, what was the hotel we stayed at? When Amit took us down on Carnaby and
Carnaby Street, yeah.
Shopping and all that.
Well, when are you coming back?
When am I coming back? Whenever I start flying again, and I am working on it. I am working on it. Really, you promise this time? Really? Really.
Come on, come back.
I would.
All right. All right then.
Okay.
Take care now.
Take care.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.